Hey guys, welcome back to Chemi Naturally, a channel to hashtag motivate and inspire and hashtag level up. Today's video is going to be very exciting because I'm going to be talking about the resume that finally landed me a software developer job after coding bootcamp. The first section of my resume shows my name. It's probably the biggest font on there, which is pretty standard. And then I have my address, well, not my address, but pretty much just the city and my contact information. And then below that, I have the links to my LinkedIn, which is kind of a virtual resume. I feel like your LinkedIn has more, you can put more experiences on your LinkedIn than you can on your resume. My GitHub shows all of my recent projects that I've done. It's a really good idea to put those two links. If you also have like a website that shows your portfolio, that's a good thing there, but that should be right below your name and contact information. Then I have the languages and technologies, which is really important because if you look at a lot of the job application, they will demonstrate the languages and technologies that they use in the company. So if you have any of these technologies that match the job description, it's a perfect way to get past that resume scanner that they use. I divide those into proficiency and exposure. Proficiency just means that something that I can pretty much do. I feel confident in doing these technologies. So I listed a bunch here. Sometimes I have to update it depending on the job application. If I see something in the description that matches my skills, I'll put that in my resume. But these are the main technologies and languages that I feel very comfortable with, so I put that in my resume. And then I have exposure to, these are technologies that I've used maybe a few times, but I'm not that confident in. Then below that I have my professional experience. This is a different thing for me actually, because when I first graduated from a coding bootcamp, I actually had my projects in front of my experience because I didn't have any experience as a software developer or engineer. And I needed the people looking at my resume to know that I actually have some experience coding. So if you are just a recent graduate, I would suggest actually putting the projects on the top before the experience that you have. But in this instance, I did gain some experience since then, which is great, thank the Lord. So my first one has the company that I am in, and then my title and the location. I put like a little description of like what the company is, because this is not a well-known company. This is something that you would probably have to search to find out more about. So I decided to put like a little slug line to show like, oh, this is what I am doing. This is what the company is about. I have put the description of this job, like what is it that I do, what accomplishments I've made. Things that I've made in the past when it comes to resumes is I generally would be so basic, but you want to be very descriptive here. So you want to put in numbers, figures, things that are quantitative, things that are measurable, so that they can see how you as an engineer stand out. My first career fair after college, where I didn't get anything, I had shown my resume to everyone, and one lady told me this very important advice, and she said, your resume doesn't show you what accomplishments you've done, like what makes you stand out. Why should I choose you? So I have here in my resume, I put numbers in here, like decreasing user search time by over 60%. That sounds interesting to the recruiters. That's how they measure you in your job anyway, right? They use quantitative measures to see how much progress you've made. I also wrote like, I taught how to build a functioning website in over 10 weeks. You know, that's also important to tell the time, because 10 weeks is not really easy for a lot of people who have busy schedules to go ahead and make a website if they've never done it before. If they're young, you know, And that shows that you are good at leading, that you're good at teaching, that you're good at instructing people. If you're able to set a goal and make people meet that deadline by an allotted time. So these types of information kind of help the recruiter know more about you and your skills and what you can bring to the table. Let's go on to my Edumacation. I put here my degree that I got. And I also put my fellowship. It's actually supposed to be Assembly Project Fellow. I did not know what to write there until the organizers of this fellowship actually told me. So I would change that. It's good to put like your education, anything that you think will make you stand out in front of a lot of other candidates. You should put there. And then here I put my projects in the very end. I pretty much put on the projects that I feel are outstanding and impressive and that they don't look like everyone else, because let's be honest, you don't want to put a to-do list, because I think every developer out there who has learned to code has already made a to-do list. That's like the one thing that people make. So you don't want to put something that everyone else has done. You want to be really creative. So I put like this application tracker, and I put my role. Even though I was not hired to do this, I still put my role in there. So I was a back-end engineer. I put my link to the project so that if anyone wants to see how it looks, how I coded it out, and maybe if they even want to run the project themselves, then they are free to do so. And then I put like a little blurb or a slug to kind of show what my project was about and be very descriptive and really like make it make sense. Of course, I put the year that I made these projects, and then I just put like 2 descriptions of what I did, or what the, pretty much my role. And then I put my other apps that I did while I was in bootcamp that I thought stand out. The only one that I would not put in there is probably this gray shopper, because every single person in my class did this project, and so it's not really outstanding. If I were to do this again, I probably would have added another project that would have stood out. This is my resume that landed me my first developer job, and I hope you guys learn from this. Notice how it's very simple, to the point, because a recruiter only has like a few seconds to really scan your resume. You don't want to put like entire paragraphs of your experience. You want to wait until you get to the phone screen to talk more about your projects and more about your experience, but this is just like an overview. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!